Finding a living space to suit your lifestyle shouldn't be an impossible dream. Now we know that most envision a loft as a massive box. Very Spartan, very minimalist, downright frighteningly fashionable. But that's just the start. You see, a loft involves some pretty clever people working to give you that perfect living space. Like an architect.
I'm a Harvard graduate.
And a Charlie.
We take stuff like this, this, and this, and turn it into this. The hardest thing is having the workers understand not to cover this stuff up. We give the residents electricity and oxygen.
Now, once Charlie's made sure you can breathe okay, you can move into a space that you can truly make your own.
There's a kind of architecture that exists in a loft that you just cannot get in another type of house. It has to do with high ceilings.
High ceilings. It's great.
It has to do with large windows.
High windows, too. That's what I love, the high windows. Did you see our blinds that we got?
It has to do with architectural detail and the architecture as a whole that just doesn't exist in an individual house.
Lots of light is important. Lots of light. It's not office space, after all. It's living.
The residents certainly are against the grain, but that's not to say they're not tremendously varied in their backgrounds and also in their price ranges.
So what's it going to be like moving into that loft for the first time?
Dusty, echoing.
Whatever, you want to do. It's okay.
Essentially, I wanted a loft for a studio space to work in, But it got so nice, I didn't want to dare bring my paints in here. It's a very unique place. It has an unusual flow to it, which probably happened mostly because I started designing it from an illustration ability rather than through the architect's vision, my vision first. The best thing about the aquarium is brushing your teeth. You can brush for hours to get the cleanest teeth with this thing. The best part of loft living is if you can combine the 100-year-old stuff with the new stuff and get this amazing contrast going. For me, it was the chance to create a three-dimensional illustration. I'm an illustrator, so I do all this stuff two-dimensionally. I wanted to see what it looks like when you get into the cubic space, to be able to move through it and see through something. Yard work, oh yeah. You haven't looked at my balcony, obviously. No, it's all taken care of by the city out there, that big yard. It's an extremely fun place to live.
Openness.
Freedom.
Flexibility.
Downtown. Thank you.
I don't know, I think we like cities a lot. We're very, very pro-city. We like the urban stuff. We like being in the middle of it, and that's what being in the middle of cities is all about. That's nice, it's fun. What's kind of interesting is that Jocelyn's still not quite happy with the bedroom, and so that kind of changes every day.
Hourly.
Sometimes hourly.
We didn't want walls. We didn't want everything all fixed. We wanted to be able to move them around. We felt like it.
Living room, bedroom, together.
I know from experience that what's unique about a loft is that they can be changed, and they frequently are changed over time by the people who live in them. In fact, a loft almost provokes that.
Might be normal.
In all the buildings that this team has been involved with rescuing and putting back together and putting people in them to live, this building is more satisfying than all the others because it's come a lot further. This building started out 3 years ago on the edge of demolition. The city of Long Beach ordered it demolished to remove blight on Pine Avenue because they were getting their Pine Avenue plan snapped into shape. And that meant 16 theaters and dozens of restaurants, and national retailers were coming to this neighborhood, and they didn't want this derelict building standing here. So we weren't very popular when we first came to town, but I think their opinion turned around about 10 or 12 months ago when we actually started on it.
Old buildings don't have to be torn down. They can be preserved. The historic nature of them, all the outside elements, all the inside elements, can be used in a new use. Housing, downtown housing, is extremely appealing and enjoyable.
You walk into this space and you realize that you can acquire a lifestyle that you always thought was just in the TV box or up on the movie screen.
You've got the exposed brick walls, the high ceilings, the large windows, the concrete floors, the columns, the exposed pipework and ductwork and everything like that. You've seen it in the movies, you've dreamed of it. It's everything you thought you could have, and now you can.
The Renaissance of Long Beach is already well underway. Between the convention center and the new theaters and the new restaurants and the new housing that's appearing in downtown, the Crest Building is just on the cusp of that. We are 5 blocks above ocean, and the wave is moving up the street. In the same way that the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica happened, Pine Avenue in Long Beach is happening. It's just happening here. The restaurants and bars are clicking. Housing is starting to pop in downtown, and loft housing in particular is going to pop for Long Beach. We want to be known as the destination for loft housing, for ownership of loft housing in all of LA County. You can't own it downtown LA, you can own it in downtown Long Beach.
And this is where, the Crest Loft Building on Pine Avenue. And here's the number you should call right now for more information. Because if you do, we think your search for the perfect living space might just come to the perfect conclusion.